Hi guys, it's Ben Heath from Lead Guru, and in this video, I'm going to answer the question of can you rerun old Facebook ads? Can you have Facebook ads that you've run previously and turn them back on, or do you need to duplicate them? Do you need to make some adjustments to them first? That's what I'm discussing in this video. Before I get into that, I just want to very quickly ask you to smash that like button and subscribe to my channel if you are new and haven't done so already. So I'm in an example Facebook ad account here, and I've got an example campaign created. I've got two ads. This is just I create all my example stuff in here, right? So there's some old stuff that's not really relevant, but that's not the point of this video. So let's say we've got example ad 2. Now I'm gonna assume that you've got a scenario where example ad, we ran that for a while, it performed reasonably well, and at some point the results started to drop off, and it can happen quite quickly, usually happens more slowly, but it gets to the point where you go, you know what, that's just not performing very well anymore. It's not performing as well as other ads we've got live. Let's go ahead and pause that and focus on the other ads. And that, in this scenario, would be example ad 2 that's been run. Now, what most Facebook advertisers will do after that point is they will just basically forget all about example ad. They will carry on going forward and forget about it, and they might use it to go, okay, that was an image, so we could create other similar type ads going forward. So they might take the learnings, but they won't actually ever use that ad again. And the truth is, you can rerun a previously used ad. You can use it, and there are actually some advantages to doing so. The first thing is that the ad's probably got a lot of social proof on it. If you run it for a while and it was successful, it's probably got a good amount of social proof on, which we know social proof helps improve your results. If it didn't work very well previously, you didn't run it for very long, then you wouldn't be wanting to run it in the first place. So, that's sort of a non-question. I'm focusing on ads in this video that have been run previously and did quite well. It's probably why you'd be thinking about rerunning them in the first place. So it's got a lot of social proof on it. It's also tried and tested. So just along the lines of what I was saying there, we know that this has performed well previously. Why wouldn't we want to benefit from that again? Now, I think what people assume is that once something drops off or once performance has been shown to have become bad, it can never come back again. And I think when people make that assumption, they're not thinking about the dynamics of how Facebook advertising works. So firstly, we know that Facebook ad fatigue is a significant thing, okay? We definitely know, particularly if you're operating with higher budgets and or slightly smaller audiences, if you put the same ad in front of the same people again and again and again, they're going to get bored of it. And the effectiveness of that ad campaign is going to decrease significantly as a result. That's been known about with advertising for centuries, probably millennia even. I'm sure there was someone in ancient Rome that was running ads for something, and they did it too much and people got bored of it, right? So this is a well-known phenomenon. So a lot of the time when you do see an ad drop off, it's because of ad fatigue. Now, giving it a month or 6 weeks and turning it back on again, you may well see a nice uptick in performance from doing so. And when the ad comes back live, it does really well. And this is because we know that this ad can perform well previously. It just needed a rest. It just needed an amount of time for people to forget about it, for it to become fresh again. And you have to think that's not only because you've got the same people you're advertising to that just haven't seen it in a while, so they're not sort of fatigued by it, but also most targeting options are somewhat dynamic. So if you're targeting like an interest, for example, all different people become interested and not interested in certain things in different stages of their lives. So I don't know the exact statistics on this, Facebook wouldn't share it, but I know that, over a 12-month period, for example, the 500,000 people that might be categorized within one interest, a good percentage, maybe 100,000 of those are going to change, maybe more. Different industries will differ massively, right? Some things, like if it's an interest, people interested in TikTok, I imagine, that's going to change much more rapidly than people interested in gardening, for example. Something that's going to be more static. So it's going to vary between interests and between industries. But what I'm getting at here is that targeting options change, as in the 500,000 people that are in there are going to change over time because people will move into that interest as they become interested in it. Because remember, when you advertise on Facebook, there's real people on the end of those ads. And they're also going to become not interested in it as they move on to other interests. I've certainly done that in my life. I've done, different sports and hobbies and things. I've been interested for a while and enjoyed them, and then I've moved on to other things. I'm sure you probably have as well. So returning on an ad that has worked really well previously, not only is it fresher to the people that may have seen it in the past, but there's also probably a whole bunch of more people in that targeting option that have never seen it that Facebook are going to be able to target. So I think turning on old ads that have performed well, but they did drop off, so you paused them, is a fantastic tactic to have in your arsenal. Obviously a very easy one, just takes a second. And when I would recommend deploying that is when you're starting to get to that point, which happens a lot with Facebook ad campaigns, where you're just struggling to get results. Like your results have just been dropping off. You keep introducing new ads, you keep testing new stuff, and it's not disastrous, but it's not where it was, say, 6 months ago. When we see something like that happen, we will often go, okay, let's go back through all the old ads that did really well, that we were able to run for 3 months or, longer sometimes shorter, that we know did well. Let's go ahead and turn a load of those back on. And that can often help pick performance back up. Again, you're going to have to turn those off again at some point because that's just the nature of Facebook advertising. But you will get, hopefully, some good results out of those for a chunk of time. Will vary depending on your industry, but for a chunk of time, and I think that's quite a big deal. So definitely something I would recommend doing. This rerunning old ads applies to other elements of Facebook ad campaigns as well, by the way. So sometimes you just get to the point where with a certain targeting option, you just can't get great results with them because you've burnt out that audience, you have advertised them loads, and you just need to give it a rest. So you might not advertise to an audience for 6 months, it having performed really well previously, turn it back on after 6 months, boom, there you go. You get good results again because it had some time to sort of regenerate and for your stuff to become fresh. Same can apply to campaigns even, okay? Not just to ads, it applies to various elements of a Facebook ad campaign. What I would encourage you not to do is not to duplicate your campaigns and then run the new versions. I think you're better off if elements performed, or campaigns or ad sets or ads, if an element performed well previously, you are better off just running that ad, okay? Sorry, I should clarify. Just running that version, so that ad, that campaign, that ad set again, as opposed to duplicating and running a new version. I didn't explain that very well, but hopefully that now makes sense, right? Don't duplicate and run the new version, run the previous version. You get all the social proof. Facebook's gone through and done a whole bunch of learning. That's the better way to go. So just a quick, sharp video for you guys today. Hopefully that was useful and clarified some questions, because I've had quite a few people ask, can I rerun an old campaign? And absolutely, yes, you can. I mean, it happens all the time when we have sort of anniversaries of things come up. So like Black Friday, we might run the same Black Friday campaigns we did last year. Often we'll make some changes, but broadly speaking, the same campaigns we did last year, again this year, and there's no problem with that. If it performed really well, you might have to change the years and the creative and stuff like that, but that's absolutely fine, right? That's absolutely fine to do that. So definitely can do it. As I said, hopefully that's been useful. Before we go, a couple of free things I want to mention. The first is a free webinar I've created called 3 Killer Facebook Ad Strategies to Double or More Your Revenue. And in this webinar, we really go through some of the cornerstone of Facebook advertising, and that's the sales funnel that you use. You have to use the right sales funnel for your products and services, and you have to know how to implement it correctly. Otherwise, whatever else you do is just not going to work. So in this webinar, we break down 3 different sales funnels that we use all the time with our clients, different ones for different business, and I explain, if you've got this type of business, you want this sales funnel. If you've got this type of business, you want this sales funnel. I explain all that sort of stuff, so that's fine. But we break that down and go through it in a lot of detail. And I think if you're looking to get better results with Facebook ads, it is well worth your time to go through this. It's 60, 70 minutes long. Link is in the description, completely free. I'd recommend you check it out. Other free thing I want to mention is my Facebook ads Mastermind group. It's a free Facebook group I've created. It's got over 70,000 members now, about 72,000, I think, at the time of recording this video. Amazing community full of Facebook advertisers just like you. Questions get asked, they get answered all the time. I do free live trainings in the group. If that sounds like something you want to be part of, go ahead and click. Again, there'll be a link in the description. Go ahead and click on that. Go over to the group, join. We'd love to have you there. And we'd love to see you get involved and better results from your Facebook and Instagram ad campaigns, which is what my stuff is all about. If you found this useful, please comment below. Please subscribe to my channel. Hit that thumbs up button, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.